Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I'm going to show you how to make a homemade barbecue rub. Simple, easy, minimal ingredients. You can make this as complicated or as simple as you want. Stick around and check it out, guys. Here we go. When it comes to commercial barbecue rubs, it can be kind of overwhelming because there's so many different options out there. I mean, I have all these right here. The main companies, the most commercial ones that everybody knows about would be, for me at least, Sucklebusters, Cosmos Q, everybody knows them, and Meat Church. Got a couple of those. Got that right there. And then everybody knows about Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub. It's a pretty good all-around rub. But I'm gonna make my own, and I'll show you the ingredients I got. Got some regular kosher salt, you can see right here. Like I was saying before, you can make it as complicated or as simple as you want. If you want to simplify it, and you're making some ribs, you can do 50-50 kosher salt and coarse ground black pepper. But as far as ratios go with salt, I always try to keep it between 30 and 50%. Never go over 50%. And if you're sensitive to salt and things that are really salty for you, then you can go a little bit lower if you want. Also, I'm using coarse ground black pepper. For some sweetness, you could use brown sugar, but I got some granulated honey powder. For a little bit of spice, habanero powder. This is pretty spicy, so if you're sensitive to spicy stuff, just adjust it or leave it out. I got a tiny bit of granulated garlic right here. I'm gonna use the rest of that. That's like almost a tablespoon. And also for you people out there that like Old Bay seasoning, they use a lot of celery salt in that, so I got some right here. I'm just gonna put probably a couple teaspoons I'm gonna throw in there. That's pretty much it. Not gonna overdo it with all these different seasonings, but you can adjust it to how you like. I'm gonna start with 4 tablespoons, which is a 1/4 cup. 2 tablespoons of the coarse ground black pepper. 2 tablespoons of that granulated honey. Give it a little bit of sweetness. Use the rest of that garlic powder, it's not too much. 1 big old tablespoon of that habanero powder. And 2 teaspoons of this celery salt. Also, by the way, if you can't find some of these ingredients like this honey powder or the habanero powder or any of these, even the coarse ground black pepper, I'll just leave links below for Amazon if you want to check it out. So go check it out. There you go. Now you got yourself a homemade barbecue rub. Let me get these ribs seasoned up. All right, so what I got here is some St. Louis ribs. Basically just the whole spare ribs cut St. Louis style, just like that. Straight and uniform. Obviously you could choose to use a binder if you want. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit of mustard. And also, if you're new to doing any kind of barbecue, when you put a binder on like this, it's not gonna do anything to the flavor, but you're not gonna taste the mustard, so don't worry about it. Oh, and also got these rib tips, some of that end meat. I'm not really gonna put that rub on there because it's kind of spicy. Maybe just put a little bit of salt. But it's some dog treats, so they don't really need any seasoning really. Right here, I'm gonna wrap these ribs overnight in some saran wrap, just to let them marinate a little bit. I know a lot of people are against doing this, but I've done it a few times in the past and they've always come out pretty good. The reason I never usually do it is because I'm just doing stuff at the last minute, not really caring too much, but it should be fine. All right, so I got my little ribs right there. Set them on this cooling rack, throw them in the fridge overnight. I'll see you guys tomorrow and I'm gonna throw them on the smoke. Got some hickory wood chunks, pretty big. I'm just putting 2 in there. All right, so I got these ribs right here, been marinating overnight. Give it some time. I gave it some time for the salt to kind of absorb into the meat. So everything's looking pretty good. I'm gonna throw them on the pit barrel probably from anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours. Obviously you don't have to wrap, but I'm probably gonna wrap after like 2.5 hours, just depending on how much smoke these absorb. So that's it. Probably spits them after like 1 hour, but that's it, guys. Here we go. Got the little dog treats also right there. So here we go. Alright guys, it's been 1.5 hours. These have actually gotten pretty dark pretty quick, so I'm gonna wrap them up pretty soon, probably like 20 minutes. I'm gonna wrap them up. All right, that's what we're looking like. Can't really see it that good in this light. All right, so I got no apple juice. I'm just using a tiny bit of pineapple juice. Not gonna overdo it. I just want a little bit of sweetness on there. Spray it with some apple cider vinegar. Gonna let these go for like 45 minutes. It probably won't be done, but I'm just gonna let them go for that long and check them just to be sure. Whew. So 2 hours on the smoke, wrapped for barely over 1 hour. And as you can see, these aren't some glamorous looking ribs or nothing like that. They're just some regular backyard ribs. No sauce. If I was gonna sauce these, I would put sauce on right when I unwrapped them, throw them on for like 15 minutes with the sauce, let it set up on there, but that's pretty much it. Little bit of sweetness, not over seasoned, not too salty. I know a lot of people are gonna like look at the video and just think it's that rub I made was crazy over salty because the ratio is so high. But if you notice, I didn't over season the ribs when I was putting it on. I only did like 1 layer on either side. Kind of went light on it because, you know, when you're using the commercial rubs, you could layer it on there. You can cake it on pretty good because it's not overly salty. But if you're gonna make the rub like I did, just keep in mind and use common sense and know that it's gonna be on the saltier side, so do a light rub on the ribs. So I should have explained that better when I started first in the video, but you know, it's just a basic rub. It's a starting point for anyone out there that's really not experienced in making any barbecue rubs or rib rubs. If you use that on a pork butt or like a brisket, you could layer it on pretty thick because it could take all that salt and those thicker cuts of meat, but to each their own. Play around with the ratios of salt. If you want it sweeter, throw more brown sugar or honey powder in there. Like I said, I'll leave the links in below if you want to check that out. But just some easy backyard ribs, guys. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video, guys. Peace.